and as always, streaming on Peacock. Thank you for spending part of your morning with us. We'll see you right back here next week on Sunday Today.
This morning, after meeting with President Trump about more military support for Ukraine, President Zelensky sits down with Kristen Welker for an exclusive interview. Plus, Senators Rand Paul and Tim Kaine on the government shutdown.
Fact that so many people simply appear not to care that conversation taking place between Republicans and Democrats or with the White House. What are the ramifications? More TSA workers and air traffic controllers are not being paid. Plus, the ramifications of Proposition 50 if it fails. All that and more on Today in LA Weekend.
There's a lot of little thieves out there today.
Yeah, well, that's why Chase Freedom Unlimited helps protect against them.
Trick or treat.
Well, if it isn't the wet bandits.
You okay, man? Fraud monitoring with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
Del Taco's El Big Boxes, now with bigger burritos. Try the $5, $7, and $9 boxes today.
Now at 7 a.m. on Today in LA Weekend, protesters take to the streets in cities across the nation for No Kings demonstrations. Today in LA is live with the aftermath and what prompted people to head out and make their voices heard. And then the unlawful assembly declared.
Well, I had a pretty view for you, but the fog has rolled in and it's going to stay with us over the next couple of days. We'll be getting you ready for the next few days in the morning that might be looking like this. That's coming up this morning.
You're watching NBC4. Here's what's happening today in LA.
Well, how about this pretty view, Kelly? This is a glorious sunrise here on this Sunday morning, October 19th. Good morning, everyone. This is a live look over downtown LA. Another beautiful look at the sunrise right behind me as well. I made sure to match it just because I knew it was going to
did such a
be
good
brown
job.
like these autumn-like colors. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. It would have been really nice if I could match mine, I guess. I would love a nice pink foggy start to the day, but no, this was at one point the view from the battleship USS Iowa in San Pedro, and you can kind of make out a couple lights there, just like off in the distance. But boy, this has really gotten socked in quickly. San Pedro right now at 61 degrees. We do obviously have some fog off the coast right now. Visibility has ebbed and flowed a bit, as you can see. So we'll continue to keep an eye on conditions this morning. There's more fog to come in the days ahead, but thankfully in the afternoon hours, you'll get your sunshine back. Let's take a look at your high temperatures for today, mostly hanging out in the 70s and 80s. Pretty comfortable conditions all around and a little cooler than yesterday. We were well above normal for yesterday. We'll continue with that cooling trend in the days ahead, working with that onshore flow that's bringing back in that dense morning fog. So we'll make sure you're ready for it before you have to worry about your morning work week commute.
See you soon, Kelly. Tens of thousands of people filled the streets of downtown LA for No Kings protests. This was the largest of dozens of demonstrations held across Southern California on Saturday. But as night fell, the LAPD declared an unlawful assembly and detained several demonstrators outside the federal building. NBC4's Annette Arriola live in downtown LA this morning. Good morning, Annette. How's it looking out there today?
Michelle, good morning to you. Yeah, we've been driving around this part of town here, very close to Grand Park, City Hall, as well as the Federal Detention Center. And I got to tell you, things are looking quiet and orderly. And for the most part, that's really how things were yesterday afternoon. Around 2 o'clock, that's when we saw a massive crowd of rally goers flocking to City Hall, packing Grand Park for No Kings Rally, protesting the policies of the Trump administration. People there were saying that their concerns stem from immigration enforcement to women's rights and health care issues. Now, the crowd, again, remained orderly and peaceful, but it was during the evening time when we saw some tense moments unraveling. A small group of people demonstrated outside the federal detention center at Alameda and Temple Streets. They refused to leave after the police department ordered them to disperse. A group of about 24 people could be seen there as officers first pushed them away from the detention center. Now, police say lasers and industrial lights were used against officers on the ground and on the LAPD helicopter flying above. Now, the crowd did not initially leave. Police started pushing forward, and at that point, there were confrontations. This video here appears to show an officer shooting a woman with a non-lethal projectile. It appears she was hit somewhere in the torso, on her lower body. Another woman who was dressed as a handmaid to symbolize her concerns over women's reproductive rights remained seated after police gave the dispersal order and was detained and zip-tied. Take a listen.
One of the officers came over and said, grab her by her shoulders, and so they lifted me up, and then that's when they dragged me over to the sidewalk. I was prepared that it could happen, and my goal was to not resist. I know that they have a job to do. My job was to come out and protest peacefully.
Again, we do know that several people were detained. Exactly how many arrests were made, still unclear about that. We do know that LAPD will be providing those numbers later this week, so we have been in touch with them. And as soon as we have that information, we will relay it to you. But I got to tell you, Michelle, again, the bulk of those rally goers that showed up in the afternoon that were there near the park and near City Hall remained quite peaceful, quite orderly. Those tense moments that we did see were late. And those folks who the federal detention center. But so far right now, everything quiet here in downtown LA. That is the very latest. Reporting live, I'm at Ariola 4 today in LA. Michelle will send it back to you.
Annette, thank you so much. Some other images were captured, though, as demonstrators marched in the No Kings rally in downtown LA. Someone fell to the ground as an LAPD patrol car was making its way through the crowd. The LAPD is now responding to what happened yesterday on Alameda. So this was around 5 p.m. as you're watching right here. The LAPD says they are investigating the situation, and the person who fell took themselves to the hospital. We saw demonstrations in countless corners of Southern California, like this one in East LA, all expressing frustrations with the Trump administration, the government shutdown, and more. From the Inland Empire in San Bernardino to Palmdale, crowds also gathered in Beverly Hills as well as Pasadena. And then there was the OC, the San Fernando Valley, Long Beach, and really countless others. All remained peaceful from what we know so far. And some participants say they looked more like street parades. There were some recognizable faces at the downtown LA protests. One of our viewers shared this video of actor Pedro Pascal. You can see other marchers walking alongside with him, and other celebrities like Jamie Lee Curtis, Ben Stiller, and Spike Lee showed their support for the demonstrations on social media. We were streaming these events live for more than 8 hours yesterday. You can see live and breaking news as it happens. Just download the NBCLA app or head over to the website NBCLA.com. Developing now in Orange County, police in Anaheim are searching for a 101-year-old, a man who's gone missing. Take a look at your screen. Police tell NBC4 Francisco Ramos was last seen at around 4:30 yesterday afternoon in the area of Hampton Street. He's 101 years old. Additional details have not been released about his possible whereabouts. If you see Mr. Ramos, you are asked to call police.
We're switching gears now over to your first alert forecast with temperatures this morning in the 50s and 60s. But 27 degrees in Big Bear right now. It's a sign of the times. The changes are coming, and we're also seeing it in the form of that morning fog out there just along the coastline, but there's more to come with that. Yesterday, though, a very different story. Normally for this time of year, a daytime high of 78 degrees is typical for us. But yesterday, it was a daytime high of 88 degrees downtown. I was feeling it. I'm sure you were too. Today, I expect our temperatures will come down just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get you ready for it. Mid-70s along the coastline. Again, that shot behind me is of Long Beach. You can see that fog in there as well. That will be with us for the morning hours. We'll keep the high clouds, though, as we head into the afternoon. You'll still see some sunshine, though. Orange County expecting to see the low 80s, as well as Los Angeles Basin, Valleys, Inland Empire, mid to upper 80s. You're probably where we'll see our warmest temperatures for the day. In the high desert, low 80s expected. Always a light breeze, but nothing too significant. And our mountain temperatures that this morning, like I said, we're hanging out in the upper 20s, will eventually warm up into the mid 60s. So that will be a little bit better as well. Those high clouds, again, are a sign of what's to come. We'll see those streaming overhead for today, and we'll see a continued drop in our temperatures in the days to come, back down to about what's considered normal for this time of year and possibly even below it. I'll have a look on your extended forecast coming up in a few minutes for what you can expect in the days to come.
A big bust in West Hollywood, but it didn't have anything to do with ICE agents. LA County Sheriff's deputies explained who they were looking for as a lot of talk circulates online. And thieves made quick work during a robbery at the Louvre in Paris overnight.